What's going on, everybody, and welcome back once again to Luke Zach Football. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my post Week 1 USFL 2022 power rankings. So let's get into it. So I made a video a couple of days back, kind of just explaining everything you need to know about the USFL. The 4 games were played for Week 1 already, and I'm going to break it all down and do my power rankings for them. So coming in at number 8, which is last, the Pittsburgh Maulers. They were very tough to watch play last night. They could not move the ball offensively whatsoever. It was a complete shit show there. Quarterback of the Pittsburgh Maulers officially was former NFL quarterback Kyle Luetta, who was a backup quarterback for the Browns and the Falcons. Look, he played very bad, and they brought in other quarterbacks, and it didn't go well there either. Their defense was able to at least, keep them in the game for a while, but could not do anything offensively. Coming in at number 7, same thing with the Michigan Panthers. Offensively, they really could not get anything going, and it's a disappointment for them because they had the number 1 overall pick, and they drafted quarterback Shea Patterson, and it did not really go well. Patterson was fumbling the ball over the place, a lot of miscommunications between him and the center, a lot of turnovers. That game between the Panthers and the Gamblers was really sloppy. I mean, the final score wound up being 17-12, a low-scoring defensive battle, but it really did not feel like a defensive battle, if I'm being honest. It just felt more so the offense is being that bad than the defense is being that good. Coming in at number 6, the Philadelphia Stars, who took an L against the New Orleans Breakers. Philadelphia Stars, they did not look as bad as the two teams behind them. They were able to play, somewhat good defense, and they didn't play well offensively, but they were able to get a couple of touchdowns in there. Coming in at number 5, the Houston Gamblers. I have the Houston Gamblers below a team that lost, even though the Gamblers won, just because of how bad the Gamblers looked in their win. I mean, their offense was terrible, their defense was okay, but it was really just benefiting off of the sloppiness of the Panthers. Coming in at number 4, the New Jersey Generals. They lost, but they were going up against Birmingham, who could be arguably the best team in the USFL right now. It was a heartbreaking loss for the Generals because they had the lead the entire game up until the final 20-something seconds. And, they were able to get a really good running game going with backup quarterback DeAndre Johnson. A lot of teams did this, but the Generals, more than anybody, did a 2-quarterback system where they had DeAndre Johnson. He came in for like 50% of the snaps, but only wound up passing the ball 4 times. They would just keep running read options with him. And then Luis Perez, who honestly looked like the best overall quarterback out of all the quarterbacks, was played for 50%, and he threw 2 touchdowns. He was 14 of 19. He played really well. I think, even though DeAndre Johnson did well, I think it would have served them a bit to be able to give Perez more snaps there towards the end. And I think the New Jersey Generals coach, Mike Riley, kind of overthought everything there at the end. I mean, it was a 21-21 game with about 2 minutes to go, and they had a 4th and 2 from around the 30-yard line, and they decided to kick the field goal. But the kicker had missed some field goals earlier in the game, so the confidence wasn't there, but they still did it, and it worked out. They got it, but they wound up losing the game ultimately. And I think if they would have just gone for that 4th and 2, I think the percentages say they would have gotten it, because the Stallions really could not stop their run. The Stallions' front 7 was terrible in that game, and I think they could have kept it going with DeAndre Johnson, but or bring in Perez for a pass, but they decided to kick the field goal, when if they gone for it, they could have gotten the first down and chewed out the rest of the clock and ultimately have won the game, but they did not do that. Coming in at number 3, the Tampa Bay Bandits, who were led by former NFL quarterback Jordan Ta'amu, who was the 3rd-string quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2020, and the 3rd-string quarterback for the Washington football team this past season. I believe he also was on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers practice squad last season, and he was a front runner for MVP in the XFL back in 2020 before the league was canceled. But he played a pretty efficient game. The offense as a whole did not play very well, but he played pretty efficient, and it led them to a win over the Pittsburgh Maulers. Coming in at number 2, the Birmingham Stallions, who, I talked about earlier. The Stallions, they have a little bit of a quarterback issue going on. Magoo did not look very good, and they brought in another guy. He played better, but the main problem with them was they had trouble stopping that run, and if that's something that is against other teams, that will not be good for them. But their offense looked pretty good, especially in the clutch down in the stretch, and their defense made some stops when they really needed to. So I think the Birmingham Stallions are definitely at the top of this league right now with one other team. And then at number 1, the team who I think might slightly be better is the New Orleans Breakers, who beat the Philadelphia Stars. What impressed me about the New Orleans Breakers, how they were just able to be pretty balanced on both sides of the ball. Offense, they were able to control the clock and just play overall efficient and not turning the ball over. And their defense was able to pretty much shut down the Philadelphia Stars throughout most of the game. And in the second half, the Stars start to bring it together a bit. But I think right now the 2 best teams is the Breakers and the Stallions in the USFL. I think the Generals and Bandits are right there with them. The other 4, not as much. But yeah, comment down below if you guys watch the games and what do you think of my power rankings. I'll be doing these weekly. I probably won't be doing weekly predictions of the games, but I will be doing these weekly power rankings. So, other than that, I'll see you guys next time. And make sure to stay in tune for tomorrow, because I'm going to be doing a Chiefs and Cowboys video that is funny. So, see you guys next time.